Hello everyone, welcome back with another exciting episode of Brit Talk series. I'm Archana, studying Masters in Event Management at Brits University College. Today we have a remarkable guest who is creating ripple in healthcare industry. Let's welcome Ms Lubna Naeem, the Director of Operations at Gargash Hospital in Dubai. Welcome Ms Lubna.
Thank you very much, Archana, for a lovely introduction, and thank you so much for Brits Imperial University College for inviting me here. Let me introduce you myself. Lubna Naeem, I'm the Director of Operations of Gargash Hospital, one of the leading hospitals in the healthcare industry, making its mark, trying hard. We are on the track, we're doing it.
That's great, Lubna. Can you please explain us your journey in healthcare industry and how it all began?
Interesting, it's a long journey. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll tell you how it is. So by education, I'm a pharmacist.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very medically sound that way.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives my foundation and my structure around medical background. I did work as a pharmacist, as a trainee pharmacist in Max Healthcare Group in Delhi, which is a 600-bed hospital.
Okay.
I did my training in AIMS, All India Institute of Medical Sciences.
That's interesting.
And from there, literally as a trainee pharmacist, and you know how in India, trainees are being treated.
Yes.
So today if we are sitting on a chair, it's through a lot of hard work and journey, right?
Yes.
So I have done it all. I was sitting on the floor with the, the office boys and checking the inventories and cleaning the shelf. I've done it all. From there, of course, as a female, as a woman, there's a phase which comes for a marriage, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get married. I came here to Dubai, and I took good conscious break of 8 to 9 years in my career. And everybody was like, "What are you doing? You've wasted what you have studied." And it's a very common norm. Again, through this medium, I would like to say that even if you have a gap in your career, it doesn't stop you. Your talent doesn't go away. It's just that you need to keep yourself updated and make it a very conscious decision when you're taking a break, because mentally you should be prepared.
Yes.
You should not be sulking for that decision, right? So I raised my kids. I'm very proud of that I gave that time. So now if people ask me, you don't get tired, you don't go home, it's too late, because I don't have that guilt. I did my part there. Of course, the part doesn't get over, but I did what I did at that point in time. Of course, from there, jumped into healthcare back again. But again, as you say, for pharmacy, you need to have a separate exam here. I was in no mood to study anymore with 2 kids. So I said, okay, and looking and knowing myself very well, I thought that I would be fit in towards the management side of it. That's where it's important to know your strengths, right? So you can deviate, you can navigate into other channels, but you should know yourself very well. Having said that, of course, after that, the time came, I entered into an organization. My first ever job as I was a supervisor patient care, and I used to take my rounds in IP. I used to deal with patients. I was on grounds. I think for 2 years I didn't even have the office. So I was sitting on the nursing station. Again, the whole idea was to learn from the base. Of course, from there the journey of 5 to 6 years now that I'm Director of Operations, because really learned a long way. Lot of hard work and smart work and being focused. And of course, that zeal of proving yourself again after the gap was, nobody can have it after even 10 years of experience. In fact, in one of the interviews of my first job, they said, why we should take you? You have a gap of 8 years. We have people who are more experienced, I said, they'll retire. I have a hunger to prove myself. So that's why you should take me. So yeah, the journey was long with gaps, but I think that was the right gaps I've taken.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. So, how is that patient care center as top priority in Gargash Hospital when we compare to other customer care center service?
So you've given the answer in your question itself. So I'll tell you, firstly, I would like to change this concept of patient-centric. At Gargash Hospital, we are people-centric. Now, when I say people-centric, which means that every person who walks through the door of Gargash Hospital is not sick. He's not sick. Some people do come from preventative healthcare. So it's a very people-centric approach what we take at Gargash Hospital. And it's not only about patients coming in or people coming in, it's our staff, it's our team. Those are also human beings, they're people, and they work with under a lot of stress. Healthcare is not a joke to be working with. It needs a lot of emotions, it needs a lot of empathy to deal with. So yes, of course, the whole approach and whole mindset of the team is being made in a way that you are a people centric. So that means somebody who's coming from the front doors is, of course, you have to be empathetic, and as a patient or not a patient, you have to deal with him like a human being. As well as at the same time, the colleague right sitting next to you is also your internal customer.
Yes.
Right? You need to deal with them with equal respect. The moment that harmony, that zeal or that approach comes into the mindset, everything just changes around. So it no more remains patient-centric. It's a people-centric approach. Why it is different is because we are not dealing with regular people. We're dealing with people who come to us mostly, let's say 90% who are sick, who have some ailment. They're not in their best of the moods, right? They're not coming for pleasure. When we say customer centric, it's like retail, people going for pleasure and buying things. There, people come already agitated.
Yes.
Right? So it becomes more important that we understand the mindset. We treat a person with a lot of empathy. We treat a person like a human and come back to the basics where patient or people were the center of the whole ecosystem of healthcare. So that's what we do at Gargash Hospital.
That's great to listen about Gargash Hospital. So, and when the student wants to choose a career in healthcare industry, what will you suggest to focus on, and what are the opportunities they come up in healthcare industry?
See, as far as students are concerned, I feel any younger generation which are into that process of selecting, they're still figuring it out. They want to know what is happening, where is happening. Sometimes people say, "Oh, IT is super good." Some people are like a data analysis, But when it comes to healthcare or any other sector, I would say that students or the younger generation should be having a clarity in mind what they are heading towards. They should be mentally prepared. Mentally preparedness means not only education, it means to understand your own strength.
Okay.
I might have a strength to speak up. Maybe I'm an extrovert. The other person have a better knowledge than me but cannot speak up.
Yeah.
Right? They have a different personalities. So accordingly, if you think that if a person who is introvert, and I know myself very well that this is not my best of the strengths, I won't be choosing something which needs public speaking.
Yes.
Yeah. Or I won't push myself towards that. So that knowing of yourself is very important. It's okay to have your minuses known. It's okay to know your strengths as well. All you have to do is play on your strengths, and if you can work on your weaknesses, why not? But there are certain individual characteristics. There's certain personality traits you can't change generally, right? No matter how much we say you have to do this, you have to do that. It might help you, but that inner self, you know it better. Yeah. So you know yourself better, and then you see what you are heading towards. Now, what happens with the courses such as like this or any other degree? Every industry, every let's say country has a different way of doing their businesses, right?
Yes.
Every like how we say, every pitch is different. Every game is going to be different. So that's how it's very important that where you are heading towards. Now, when you do all such courses, there is a mindset with the students or with people. Now I've got my degree. Now I'll get in my office. I'll get my chair. I'm going to sit. No, it doesn't happen this way. You really have to take 2 steps back. You have to start from the scratch. You have to start from ground zero to understand how you're going to be. Let's say if you have done an MBA in healthcare.
Okay.
Now, what exactly you want to go and do in a hospital? Do you know anything? Do you even know what a registration is? Do you know what a consent means? So for that, you really have to sit on a reception first. Learn. So it can't be that I have attained a certain degree now, I'm arrived. No, it's not like that. Sometimes I always say to my team, to run faster, you need to take 2 steps back, and it's okay.
Yes.
But then it's on to you. You make your way, and it's land of opportunities. Especially at Gargash Hospital, we uplift, we empower, we support, and we promote from within. And that's a live example which is in action. Nothing in the talks, nothing in the air. You can go and ask the team how they feel about it.
Yes.
So again, coming back to the students, know yourself very well first. Then it's okay to take 2 steps back. I'm not saying that let go of your education for a waste. No, do what you have thought of, but it's okay to start from zero. You have to.
Yes.
You have to. There is no other way. And then it's up to you how you make your way up. You're working hard is one thing. Working smart is another thing.
Yes.
Learning is important. That this is my job. I'm going to be just doing this. No, look outside the box. Learn as much as you can, because especially when you do an MBAs in healthcare management, which means you're going to manage. And how you're going to manage? You have to manage people first.
Yes.
Which means the team and outside people, both.
Yes.
So managing people is an art.
Yes.
Nobody can teach you that.
Yes.
Degrees such that of this sort will definitely provide you the base and the foundation and the structure. But what next? There's a good amount of soft skills which goes into. There has to be some kind of a leadership quality in you. There has to be listening power, and then there has to be comprehensive approach towards things, and thinking that you know it all. No, maybe a person who's sitting on a reception would give you a fantastic idea. You should be able to implement that. So yeah. That's how it is.
That's very much informative for me as well as for the students. Yes. Ms. Lubna, can you please explain what are the challenges do we come across in healthcare industries?
See, human beings are challenging.
Yes.
Yeah. So as I told you earlier, people come to us when they are in their most vulnerable state. People come to a hospital when they really need to be looked after. Now, as much as you can do high-tech things, as much as you can do AI sort of registrations and a lot of technology all around, there is something called human-to-human connect.
Okay.
Yeah. That sometimes needs. That's why you really have to have the right kind of people with you who understands other person.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you are coming to a hospital and you are having you're having a, let's say, stomach ache. Now you're not in a mood, and you'll not be even bothered if a customer service is actually customer service. Somebody is smiling at you, but get me in to the triage. I want to go to the emergency, see what is happening. So you'll be in that kind of a stage. Managing that whole understanding of a human body and human nature, and then respond accordingly is a challenge. Because sometimes you're smiling and you're, hey, welcome to Gargash Hospital. No. Khalas, come, treat me. I'm not in a mood to all that. But there is a way you can always do. The moment somebody says, okay, ma'am, would you need a wheelchair? Let me take you to, how may I help you? Let's go to the ER. So basically, customer service in a very different way.
Okay.
Yeah, that other rules does not fit in. Of course, being smiling, being helpful is, of course, that's the base, but there has to be something extra. That's why we call being empathetic is important in healthcare, right? So that's important. The challenges now, if I say about from the management perspective, the challenges within to run a hospital is immense. For example, managing healthcare professionals, they're already under so much of stress. They are the main pillar of the hospital. They have their own personalities. As much as we say about amazing things about doctor, which they deserve, they have a different personalities, and you really have to manage them. And sometimes I always say they behave like kids, really.
Okay.
But we understand them, how they understand. Like how you understand how you'll approach to your father is different, how you're going to approach to your mother is different, how you're going to tell your younger sister what to do is different. So understanding that human nature is very important. And that is sometimes very challenging for people to understand, because you can say you have a point in your statement, but if you don't put it or if you don't express it properly, it doesn't make sense. It just creates more eruptions, it just creates more disarguments, and all that sort. Yeah, so that is a challenge. Increasing cost is a challenge. Moving of people very frequently from one hospital to another hospital is a challenge. So you invest time, you invest your efforts as an organization on your team, right? Nobody is stopping your growth. You are allowed to go and grow, and we'll be more proud that you have left us and have grown multifolds. But then the whole idea is that if I have put my effort and time and everything of my knowledge and made you a 360-degree kind of a package, now there is it's easy. The market is saturated with the hospitals right now, right? So it's easy to jump from each other. But again, coming back to saying to the students, this it looks nicer that somebody is just giving you few thousands little extra. It's important. I'm not going to say that money is not important. Money is important, but at the same time, where your career graph going to go, this jumping of organization to organization will not bring stability to your career.
Okay.
If you're focused that way, if you're ambitious that way, yes, you have to stick by to a place, show your loyalty, do your stuff, and then you see if this growth is stagnant, be vocal about it. Come back to your managers and say, you know what, thank you very much, you did what you did for me, but I feel now I'm stuck. I think I will be more happy doing this. And if an organization can provide you with that, why not? Rather than being vocal about it just to jump, that becomes a challenge for a healthcare facility. That you know what, you develop a talent and then move, which is fine. Sometimes you have to let go because not everybody is a talent to be kept. So if they want to go, most welcome, go. Because managing 340 or 300 people, everybody has a different point of view. Everybody is different, right? To make them like a team is a challenge.
Okay.
To make them behave, they have different nationalities. Everybody behaves differently.
Okay.
Right? Indians have a different way of understanding and behaving. Let's say Gulf country people have a different understanding and attitude and behavior. So how to club them together and to lead the way? People can be slow, people can be faster, no problem. As far as they're moving in one direction. So that becomes a challenge. To give them the direction to move, to make them walk in one direction is a challenge. Because the moment you do that, you're successful. And that's what we do at Gargash Hospital. So that's the secret. So we don't push that, okay, you have to be in the same pace or that, okay, move in this direction. We have the leaders in place, move. They're going to lead your way. They're at your front and they're at your back as well. And then you move. We're going to take care of you. So that sense when it comes to a person, I think all your challenges gets taken care. You succeed.
Yes, this was very much interesting. Even I did the same thing in my career too, jumping here and there, and then I got into stick to one thing, and then I was building up my growth.
See, this is an important aspect people forget. And I understand we are all expats, we are coming to this country, we're leaving our places. Of course, money is an important aspect, nobody can deny that. But at the same time, also one more thing, it's very brave to move out of an organization if it's a toxic environment. It's okay to move out because you can't be living in a toxic place. You can never grow. You have to be comfortable. You have to take those 5 steps first forward in order for an organization to take that 2 steps for yourself. Right? So it's very much important. But I definitely don't endorse that if you feel that there is something which is stagnant, even if out of being vocal, even if you're trying to do your part very well, and it's still you're feeling that the environment is toxic, it's just not good for your mental health, it's just not good, it's just drawing you down. Move. It's okay to come out of it, because nobody's saying here that you should just get stuck to that place and you try, because that will just slow your process of growth. So knowing very well that why a person is doing, that's why it's very important when we say healthcare management, it's very important as management to make people understand that today if I am supporting you 110%, then I have a right to make you sit and give you a class as well, and you know why it happened. And then at that time, without being offended or defensive about the whole thing, they understand you. Once you build that bridge between your staff and yourself, you're through. So my team, they listen also from me, but they know who is standing at the back. And same goes with me. I know that I can go ahead and do certain things because the kind of trust, the kind of empowerment done to me as well is going down the line. So our CEO, Gargash Hospital, she's daughter of Dr. Husnia Gargash. That's a very interesting thing as well, that we have, mashallah, 67% of the workforce of Gargash Hospital is women. And 80% of us are on the leadership roles. Oh yes, and in its action, in its glory. So yeah, it's important, because when I have been treated that way, it will just flow down. So she gives me that strength, and I give that strength down, and I believe and I make sure that strength goes further down as well.
this here leadership plays a role.
100%, 100%. But you need to know when you want to be a leader, when you want to be a boss.
Yes.
You need both the criteria in you.
Yes.
I feel that. Yeah.
Yes. That's informative. Thank you so much, Lubna, for sharing your experience. And next thing is, what are the latest exciting technologies we come across in the healthcare industries?
See, technologies are immense. There
Yes,
are a lot of
that's
technologies that a healthcare can adopt and adopting as well. UAE is a living example that a lot of technologies are coming in. But what is important is that where that technology is getting used. Are people even aware about it? Right? Awareness is coming, don't get me wrong. But again, depending upon the size of your operations, depending upon the size of your hospital, you need to understand because technology comes with money. You need to spend in that technology to get that technology, right? And it's expensive, this thing. But that keeps you upgraded. Having technologies is important. It has to be. Like for example, now let's say robotic surgeries is a basic example, right? Now, earlier it was the awareness was very less. So there were big hospitals. Let's say a hospital of a medium-sized operation would have a robotic. No, I don't think so. They would like to spend or invest in that kind of money unless you really, really have the infrastructure to support it, right? And the client to serve it. But now, earlier the whole idea and the concept of robotic surgery, people were not very aware because people were still very old school. And I want to go to the doctor. I want them to be operating on me. I don't want a robot to be operating. But it's of course that robot is being operated by a doctor only. But it was a mindset. But now that's changing. That's changing because now if you do a surgery through that, you are up and running. Quite the recovery and the speed of recovery is quite good. Your stay in the hospital, length of stay in the hospital is less, and technologies are huge in healthcare right now. I mean, but again, it depends what you want to implement. What as of now, as a phase, what you want to do it later. So now there are technologies which are like even at home you can figure it out. Is your heart rate is normal or not? Are you heading towards a heart attack or it's an early detection.
Okay.
Technologies are helping in preventative healthcare, which is very important, which we at Gargash Hospital promote a big time that preventative healthcare brings sustainability to the healthcare industry, right? So you need to take care of yourself rather than you get sick and then you go to the hospital.
Okay.
Right? You can prevent certain things. Get your cholesterol check, get your sugar check, get your basic health check done. And then if you see that you're heading towards something which is more serious, which can be immediately be stopped either by changing the lifestyle, either by changing a little bit of your habits, you're there. Rather than not knowing about it and one fine day you land up for an angioplasty or an angiography. So something like that is being promoted big time in UAE. Ministry of Health, Dubai in itself, they promote a lot about preventative healthcare. And I think post-COVID, people have understood. Post-COVID, people have understood that you really need to take care of your health.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that is happening, and that will in turn, in a longer way, will try and develop a sustainable healthcare.
Oh, that's interesting. Wow. As a woman, I need to ask one more thing. I heard about in Gargash Hospital there is women empowerment. How is that playing an important role there?
Oh, very interesting question. Yes, women empowerment. I always say that too many people talk about it a lot. But how many of us are actually actioning it is important. At Gargash Hospital, let me tell you a few facts. We are 67% of the workforce at a hospital is women. And 80% of the women are on the leadership roles.
Oh.
In fact, Gargash Hospital is the first female Emirati woman who owns a hospital, Dr. Husnia Gargash. Our CEO, Ms is a woman. Then you have me, and then you have patient relations manager, then you have your staff, then you have your director of nursing, and so on and so forth. So when we say about women empowerment, it's a very vast and a big term. Now, if you see the moment the Women's Day come or any other thing which surrounds women, which men don't feel very good about. And why so much attention
Yes.
to women empowerment. But see, talking is one part of it. Bringing it into action is another part of it. And that's a responsibility of women, those who are successful. They need to teach, not only to women, young girls, young boys, they also need to know. I would rather say women leadership is a better term because that really adds a lot of value to the whole ecosystem, whether it's healthcare, whether it's any other industry.
Yes.
So what happens is everybody teaches you how to be successful. You do your hard work, you learn, you be focused, you do this, you do that. But nobody teaches you that what you will face along the journey and how to handle those situations smartly and intelligently. Let's say a verbal harassment. Now, what happens is, yet in you are sitting in a conference room, somebody says something to you. So either you go ballistic about it, or we don't teach our girls or even boys that, you know what, having your calm and composure, not to keep quiet, speak when you have to speak, but there is a way to handle a situation. How to handle those situations when we start training them how or teaching them that, you know what, with my experience I can tell that if this has happened to me, I have done it this way. You know, every situation would be different, definitely, but you need to speak up, but in a right manner, right place, with the right kind of people. Be smart enough how you're going to deal with that situation. So nobody teaches that. That's very important to learn. Going up the ladder, what you're going to face, how you're going to deal with it. Because it's very evident, it's very sad and unfortunate that if a man is a go-getter, he'll be called ambitious.
Yes.
But if the same attitude a woman has, she's aggressive. No, she's not aggressive. She's just trying to prove a point which you are denying, which you're not understanding. Right? So that whole zeal with the women, the strength and everything, it just comes across. And I always say, just to sum up with that when we bring it to action, what does that mean? Which means that not only giving them jobs on the platform, or in that case I include boys as well within my team, give them time to have a driving license. Give them time for their classes because I think they're getting educated on the side. Give them time to develop their personalities. Take time to groom them. That what kind of a leader I am if I'm not able to groom a human being who is working under me, right? So that's very important. So just to sum up at the end, I always say that, especially to women, I always say that it's the stretch marks you have are the lines of the stripes of the tigress. And it's a God's message to you, so you need to roar loud and roar proud.
Yes, most of the time what happens is women keep everything inside. They don't come up with the problems, whatever that happens.
Really?
Yes.
Ask me, I have so many women in the hospital, they speak, they talk. Now there are different sects. In fact, I'll tell you, when I was joining Gargash Hospital, people told me, where are you going? It's too many women, it's going to be so much chaos. It's going to be so much this, and you work like a man. I was like, excuse me, what do you mean you work like a man? And will you be okay? It's too many women there, it's going to be chaotic. So I really want to take up that challenge and wanted to, and I think, Alhamdulillah, we have shattered that glass ceiling that two strong women can work together. Two strong, opinionated women can work together. Of course, we have our own set of dramas and hormones kicking in, but at the same time, when we are focused, when we know what we are heading towards, and when we give each other the space of saying no and put your point in, that's where you grow, right? That's where you learn. So yes, it's a problem. And I'm not saying that the women which I'm talking about is in a less percentage.
Yes.
Most of them, as you said, keep to themselves. But that's where our responsibility to tell them that, you know what, stand up when you feel that you're right. Speak up when you think that something is wrong is happening. Educate yourself. Be the leader. Be that one person in someone's life that whose vision can come into a reality.
Yes.
Once you start doing that, that's where you are.
Yes, that's very much interesting. And as a woman, how I should build my career.
100%. And again, women health is very important. Take care of your
Yes.
health first. We keep that on the last in the priority list.
Yes.
It's like, you're going to take care of kids, you're going to take care of your husband, you're going to take care of 100 things other, but you take yourself the down.
Work-life balance.
Yeah, it's important. Take care of your health, which is very important, because if you are healthy, you are a nurturer. You're a main pillar of the family. Then only your husband, your children, your home, your work will be in balance if you are feeling balanced inside.
Thank you so much, Lubna, for
Thank you
sharing
so
your
much for
experience.
having me here, and I hope I could add value to your lovely podcast. And see you soon again.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your experience, Lubna. And to you, audience, please stay tuned for the upcoming Brit Stock series. This is Archana signing off.